Welcome to the Mom Room. It is Thursday's solo episode. This might be a little bit all over the place. I'm too excited, but I'm on a time crunch because I have to leave the house to go drive up to my mom's place. Alone, might I add. My mom and my mare took Milo in their car earlier today so that I could get some work done over the next couple hours before I head up to my mom's place as well. So that's going to be a 5-hour drive by myself. That is a goddamn luxury vacation when you are a stay-at-home parent, and I consider myself that this summer because Milo is off school, and I'm trying to work from home while also be home with him Monday to Friday, entertain him, take him places, you know what I mean? Like enrich his mind, keep him physically active, but also still get my work done. It's a lot. So looking forward to this 5-hour drive by myself. I'm going to get a playlist of podcasts that I have to catch up on. Very excited. Usually I go for, if there's a Call Her Daddy episode that I want to hear who she's interviewing, I'll listen to that. So I think I want to listen to the one with Zayn Malik, the guy from One Direction. I want to listen to, obviously, today's episode of The Toast and maybe some Armchair Anonymous. No, you know what I want to listen to? That new podcast from Bobby Anthoff, where she podcasts with Drake. It looks hilarious. I'm sure you've seen the social media content for that. It's called The Really Good Podcast. It was just released and it jumped to number 2 on the comedy charts. So I'm going to line that up as well. So yeah, I just found out that our photo shoot that I had to be super secretive about in June is now out. And I was not expecting that. They said August sometime, but my friend happens to be at her in-laws' place and they subscribe to the magazine. So it was with Zoomer magazine. And it's a Canadian magazine. They're based out of Toronto. So we did this big photo shoot with them. Oh yeah, sorry. Finish your thought, Renee. So she is at her in-laws' house. They subscribe to the magazine. So they got an early copy delivered to their house. And all of a sudden she just sends me pictures of the photo shoot, the spread in the magazine. It's an 8-page spread. It's incredible. The article is so well written, so cute. And it's basically about my mare being the leader of the Harry Styles fandom. And also they dressed us up for all these photos in Harry Styles inspired fashion. It was such a fun day, a long day. Being a model is exhausting. And I wasn't even the main model. I was just the side, model that came in every now and then. It was mostly my mare. It's incredible. I cannot wait to share all the photos. I'm hoping that they put them digitally as well so that I can share on social media and they'll be clear and beautiful. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with everybody because it's so freaking exciting. And I took a TikTok of the day. I took a lot of content on the day, but I couldn't share anything. So I'm looking forward to making some TikToks just to show people what the day was like and all the fashion and the clothes that they had picked out. It was super cool. They had someone do our nails. My mare had the yellow happy faces on her nails. We had hair and makeup done. There was a stylist who he crushed it. He understood the assignment. Okay. It was Harry Styles inspired and he fucking nailed it. It was so good. The photographer, his name was Gabor. Let me just get his last name. The photographer's name was Gabor REINA. And so he has shot, he's a celebrity photographer. He has shot Taylor Swift, you name it, Rihanna. He has shot all these people. And I think he thought that I was a pretty decent model. And I was so proud of myself. Should I be an elderly model? What do they call it? What's that line or that category of modeling? Not elder. It's mature, like a mature model. I was thinking about it. I was like, I should put together a little portfolio because I have quite a few professional photos because Caroline, my sister-in-law, is a photographer. So I've been lucky and I've had a lot of professional photos done. I'm like, not me making a portfolio and like walking around to modeling agencies in Toronto and like opening up my portfolio. I'm sure portfolios nowadays are digital and not like you're carrying this big clunky book to their offices. So maybe I should make a digital portfolio and be like a mature model. What do you guys think? Because I don't have enough things going on, you know? I'm starting an entirely new podcast, hoping to launch it October 1st. I'm thinking Milo goes back to school early September. That'll give me all of September to like really, you know, like sort it out, get an assistant working for me so that I have time to do a whole second podcast. Also planning the live event in Toronto. I have a lot going on, but I feel like mature model I need to add to my resume because it's so fun for me. Like I love being in front of the camera and like getting like hair and makeup done. It's exhausting, but like it's so fun to see the finished product. So anywho, excited to share the photos with you guys. Also, this is, you know, my mamere has, if you watch my stories and follow along, she has a sore ankle, like a bum foot. So listen to this. They had the most insane shoes on us for some of these photos. I'm talking, I shared a picture of Pink's boots on stage yesterday. Like that. They were banana. So I don't know if you can see, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see these shoes. Like that's the kind of shoes they had. I did this one shoot where I had these massive shoes on. Like, look at those. Okay, let's see. Another one. Maybe I'll make a reel with this so you guys could see the shoes if you just listen to audio. Okay, so it was this. Do you see the platform of that shoe? So I had those on and they had me jumping back and forth. I was like, I can hardly wear my Sambas from Adidas without being injured. It's like the Sambas were trying to sever my Achilles tendon last night. I cannot jump side to side. First of all, I'm incredibly out of shape. So jumping just in flats is, you know, and like with a photo shoot, it's like you're jumping over and over. He's like, okay, again. And I'm like, like jumping out of breath, trying to look like I'm not out of breath and also trying to like, you know, give a model face. So the last shoot or the last shot, like outfit of the day was my mamere in this beautiful, I loved this dress so much. It was like textured and it like belled out. It was so cool. So she had massive shoes on again, and she was standing there and she was swaying side by side like this, and like her foot just gave out and she fractured her ankle. Like at the time we thought she just rolled her ankle, and she was like, no, like it's okay, like I'm fine. Luckily it was like at the very end of the day, like we were pretty much done. Like he was just getting a couple more shots and then that happened. She went to the doctor once she got home, like had x-rays and stuff, fractured from modeling. That's how hard modeling is. Broke her ankle. So she is a freaking trooper. You guys are going to love these photos. Her ankle is healing up really nicely though. I will say that. See this photo? There were 2 sets of photos where it was just like, okay, jump, go. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to work out. Especially after going to Pink's concert last night and seeing her on stage. I was like, I'm incredibly out of shape. I told my husband, I need to work out. I love going to concerts so much. And usually at concerts, you're standing the entire time. Like, remember when we went to 2 Harry Styles concerts in a row? my body was destroyed. I'm not performing the show. I'm standing in the audience watching. And even last night, my back was starting to kill me. And it's like I'm already sore just from sleeping in my bed. I don't sleep properly. I sleep on my stomach. And I always have like a sore lower back, sore upper back. And I really think it's weak. And my core is probably super weak. So that always leads to back pain and like hip pain. And like I just need to build muscle in all these important places: lower back, upper back, my core, my hips, and my butt. Let's go. I also need to start stretching and doing yoga. So anywho, wasn't planning on talking about that, but I just got sent the photos and I'm so excited. So I keep a notes list on my phone of things I want to just talk about on the podcast. So let me just go through these. Okay. Number 1. We've been going for walks a lot in our new neighborhood because Milo's off school and it's beautiful to just like walk around. Bubbles has been getting lots of walks. It's very nice. So we go for a walk the other day and I look down the street where we would usually start walking and there is roadkill. And it's not just like a tiny little chipmunk or something like that Milo wouldn't notice. It was a bunny right on the road, like smushed. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm like, let's go this way. Like, let's go the other way. So my intention initially was that we were going to just walk down the street, maybe go to the park and then walk back. But because I have ADHD and I forgot that plan in my mind, I'm like, let's go around the block. Like, we're having a great time. Let's go fully around the block. So we go around the block and then we almost get back to our street near our house. And I'm like, fuck, the bunny is there. Like, that is why you went the other way, you ding dong. So I'm like, okay, maybe he won't notice it. Like, try and distract him, whatever. So we start walking and right as we're like next to the bunny, Milo's like, oh, mom, look, bunny got squished. He's smushed. And I'm like, oh yeah, like that's so sad. Like, and just trying to keep walking. And he's like, can we go look at it? And I'm like, no. And then in the moment, I'm like, okay, what's the right thing to do here? Like, should I let him go look at it? Like, he's curious. And I'm like, no, like, no. Like, we'll just leave that there. Somebody's going to come pick it up and take it away. And he's like, why? And then I'm like, fuck, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's always like, why? And I'm like, oh, like, what do I say now? Like, somebody's going to come and pick it up and get rid of it and it'll be fine. And he's like, why? Where are they going to take it? I'm like, well, sometimes when animals die, we like put them underground and like bury them so that they could like be happier. I'm like, oh my God, I can't describe this. What do you say? And I'm like, yeah, sometimes we just like bury them underground. And he's like, what? Like he's not going to be able to go back to his family. That's what he was concerned about. And I'm like, yeah, but I think once they take him away, like he's going to go up to animal heaven. And he's like, oh, and he's like, but there were flies all over him. The flies are eating him like how for lunch. And I'm like, oh my God, this is turning into such a thing. The flies are eating him for lunch. And eventually I just kind of like, we moved along and that was that. But oh my God, I was so stressed out. Like, what's the right thing to do? Like, do I let him go look at it? Like, is that weird that he wants to go look at it? He's talking about the flies eating the bunny for lunch. That was weird. And then the next day, the bunny was gone. And he pointed it out. He was like, oh, the bunny's not there. And I said, yeah, they probably came and got him. And he's like, oh, yeah, he was smushed. He's like, no, I bet you the flies ate him. They ate him all. And I'm like, oh, my God. Lord help me through this difficult moment. So that's my roadkill story. And then he told my husband about it. Like, he was just, oh, and like, he wasn't sad about it. He was just like, a car smushed him. Oh, anywho, oh yeah, the colonoscopy. So I want to get a colonoscopy, and she is going to refer me to a gastro where we live. So we'll see what they say about my stomach concerns. Ideally, I feel like I should have a scope into my belly because I get that crazy indigestion, debilitating sore stomach every single time. Like, if I have, we're just going to talk about poop right now, so buckle up, sister. Every time I have like a loose stool or like diarrhea or like a sore stomach, whether it be it comes on natural, like normal, with like it's not self-inflicted, let's say that, or if I'm like insanely constipated, nothing's working, and then so I take like a Dulcolax. Also, I learned my lesson in Switzerland. I took 2 Dulcolax before bed because I really was pissed off, and I was like, okay, this has to get out of here. I learned that I need to just take 1. And I remember my husband telling me that in Switzerland. He's like, just take 1. And I'm like, no, like I need the most powerful stuff possible. And he's like, just take 1. And I said, on the package it says adults can take 1 to 2, so I'm going to take the maximum because that's just who I am as a person. And then I suffered for it the next day, but I took 1 at home, and it was actually like the perfect situation. It just made me have like amazing poops the next day. But so let's say I take too much like of Dulcolax or a laxative, or I do like the water enema and it gives me a sore stomach and I have diarrhea. Without fail, like 6 hours later or the next day in the afternoon, I will get that raging sore stomach that's like debilitating. I have to lay down. Otherwise, I'm effed. It's terrible. And I'm always terrified of getting that sore stomach when I have something really important going on. Like, let's say I have a work function or freaking going to the Harry Styles concert, like something big. I'm worried I'm going to get that sore stomach. So I don't think that's in my intestines. It's like in my stomach, like up under my ribs. I've had the gallbladder tested. Everybody comes at me with like the gallbladder thing. I'm like, it's not my gallbladder. It's like dead center, my stomach. So I feel like I should get a scope into my belly, but then also one to look at my intestines. And my doctor was like, if somebody came in the office and like we had this appointment that we just had and they said everything that you just said, like I would not be sending them for a colonoscopy. And I get it, but also I find it difficult when like I've been dealing with stomach issues and like digestion issues for years, like probably since 2007-ish maybe. And so I've tried multiple things, like done all the things. It's progressed and like changed in different ways. I've seen many doctors and had so many tests, and it's hard to explain that in a 10-minute appointment with your family doctor that has only been seeing me for the last like 2 years. And it's like, so she comes in and she's like, oh, so what are you here for today? And I was like, yeah, I'd like to be referred to get a colonoscopy. And she's like, oh, so what's been going on? And I'm like, oh my God, how am I supposed to sit here and tell you what's been going on for the last like 15 years to try and convince you that I need a colonoscopy? Do you know what I'm saying? And in Canada, it's funny, like we're so overwhelmed with like specialists. Wait lists are so long. They're so overworked. We don't have enough specialists because, in my opinion, they don't want to pay to have more specialists available. If anybody wants to argue about the healthcare system, like I argue with my husband about it all the time. It's flawed. Yes, it's free, but it's very flawed. There's not enough specialists. We wait forever to see a specialist. And then we get into these situations where it's like we have to try and convince our doctor to like send us to a specialist or to refer us for like certain blood work or tests or whatever, because like I don't know why. I just always feel that way. Like maybe I'm a hypochondriac. I don't know. But I want to be like, if there is a test where I can go and make sure everything is okay and there's nothing seriously wrong, I want that. I want that. I don't want to wait until I am in like severe pain going in and out of a merge because I'm so constipated, like nothing's working. You know what I mean? Like I find we always just wait until it's too far gone, if that makes sense. Another thing, I had an appointment about my hormones not too long ago before we went to Switzerland. I wanted to be tested for like hormone things in my blood and just get like, I haven't had a physical in a long time. So just like, you know, the basics of blood work and whatnot. And she's like, oh, like, why do you think your hormones are not out of whack, but like having an effect on you? And I was like, well, the week before my period, I don't sleep. I will literally have major insomnia, extremely irritable, moody, like the ovulation pain, like I forget all the things that I was listing off. And she's like, oh, are your periods regular? I said, yes, I get my period like every month. And she's like, okay, then your hormones are fine. And I was like, oh, okay, so why am I not sleeping? Why am I like wanting to murder the week before my period? And she's like, well, sometimes we just put people on like an SSRI the week before their period, or like an antidepressant, like a medication for the week before their period. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I would like to, it's, the thing about healthcare, and I think I've said this before, is like they're not in the business of people feeling well or feeling their best. They're not in the business of like wellness. They're in the business of like, we just don't want you to be terribly sick. And if you're not terribly sick, if there's not something like terribly wrong that we can fix surgically or with medication, then there's nothing we can do for you. And that's why it's kind of frustrating. And like, ideally, the system would be a mix of like holistic health, lifestyle, wellness kind of things, and medicine. And I feel like, you know, like 100 years down the road from now, people are going to look back on how we managed healthcare and they're going to be like, that is wild that your primary care providers didn't even like consider food to help with certain ailments. I swear, we're going to look back on this and just be like, what? There has to be a blend of the two because, yeah, anyways, people are probably going to shit on me for talking about this, but anywho, so I asked for a colonoscopy. She's going to refer me to a gastro, so I'll keep you posted on what they say. Maybe I won't end up doing the colonoscopy because it is like an invasive procedure that I didn't realize they put you, there is anesthesia involved, like not general anesthesia, but like kind of like if you get your wisdom teeth taken out. I didn't realize that. I thought you were awake for the colonoscopy. So we'll see. Moving on to another topic. I am going to LA with Caroline. Cannot wait. August, I think we leave on the 8th or something. Is it the 8th? I don't remember. I'm getting my dates mixed up. But anyways, it just so happens that Taylor Swift is performing in LA when I'm there. And I was like, what? Caroline's like, sorry, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. And I was like, ugh. Which is fine. But anyways, I looked up resale tickets. I'm like, I'll go by myself. I'll get a sparkle outfit and go by myself. The tickets in the 100 level. So if you're not on the floor, like one level up in seats, you know, $6,000. And I know I was prepared to spend a lot of money for a Taylor Swift concert, but not that much money. Are you nuts? So I just wanted to share that news with you. I will wait for her to come to Canada, and then we will see what those tickets cost. Got tickets to Jonas Brothers. So excited about that. My sister and I went to Jonas Brothers concert in 2009 in Ottawa. We made t-shirts. It was the funnest fucking concert. It was so fun. And they have so many good hits. And the show is all 5 of their albums. They're just singing the hits from like their entire catalog. It is going to be incroyable. I'm going to download a set list similar to what I did with Taylor Swift and just make sure that I know all the songs that they're going to play. I'm sure I know all of their hits, but still. And our seats are near the stage. Oh, I can't wait. Oh, I can't wait. Let's see. Dead Bunny, check. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about like anything else that I put here. I have a 5-hour drive ahead of me, so I should probably pack this up and get going. Stay tuned for more content from our lovely photo shoot with Zoomer magazine. Also, they are on sale in stores. So if you're in Canada, check out your local magazine shop and you can pick up a copy and read the article. It's so good. So happy with how that all turned out. We feel so honored that they even asked us to be a part of their magazine. Like, how cool is that? Anywho, thank you guys so much for listening. Stay tuned. I feel so discombobulated this summer because I'm not in like my usual work routine. I just kind of feel like I'm flying by the seat of my pants, like unorganized. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the fall where we get back into it. The Mom Room podcast will become very niche to mom stuff, relationship stuff, post kids, all that kind of content that does really, really well with the Mom Room podcast. And then all this other bullshit that I love to talk about, digestion, you know, health, wellness, all the stuff that I randomly talk about, Harry Styles, you know, that will be in the new podcast. That's why I need to have 2. Because I have trouble being a niche person. I am not a niche person. Never was, never will be. So I need 2 podcasts to be able to talk about all the things that I want to talk about. So yeah, that's that on that, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already, please rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. Share it with a friend. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.